What is up, Workbringer here, and today I'm bringing you my very first heroic Generals kill. I forget what this boss is actually called, we just call it Generals. Oh, it's Stone Legion Generals, that's what it is. Anyway, this is a lovely pug in the morning, and every single person here is 9 of 10, meaning they've most likely killed this boss before, and it shows. And I am 9 of 10 as well, but I actually haven't killed this boss. I've killed Sire, so this is my 10 of 10 right here. This gives me the Heroic Castle Nathria achievement. Let's get it. So the funny thing here is that the healer, the H-Pal, their name is WOZBRINGER, and they're from Storm Rage, and that's the server I'm on. So there's a Workbringer, and there's a WOZBRINGER. And man, I just ripped threat from that DH. Lol. But that's amazing. WOZBRINGER and Workbringer in one raid. We're memeing the whole time, the whole fight. I pleaded with the raid leader to bring a Holy Paladin. This fight without a Holy Paladin is real sad. And the Disc Priest is also bringing the pain, or healing the pain as well. So Disc Priest is doing big preemptive absorbs for the big damage phases like the Comet, right? Spirit Shell. The other one, I forgot. I was going to play Disc Priest this expansion. I decided not to. But there's, Rapture. Rapture and Spirit Shell is like Omega preemptive absorbs can go out, which is very good if you know the timings of this fight. It's everything. And then Holy Paladin just coming in with like the big spot heals. If you run this as a tank without a Holy Paladin, your health is a little bit of a yo-yo. And it doesn't matter what class you are. There's a DH in here and a H-Pal. We're both fairly tanky. I suppose the monks are a tiny bit tankier. But H-Pal, no issues with health ever for me. So first phase of this boss, the DH, I tell him to just basically take call the whole time. And he's going to get a bleed, but he is carrying, so he can clear his own bleed. And the way you get rid of the boss bleed is by standing in the circle that comes down. I always forget the name of it. It's like, it's Crystallize. Yeah, you go in the circle for Crystallize. In the first part, you're going to get stunned. You can human racial out of it if you care, but it doesn't. It's a very short stun. It doesn't matter. And Demon Hunter, you just basically pop your mitigation beforehand, and if I'm somewhat low on damage, maybe I'll pop Ardens or like Guardians before I get stunned. But again, we have a Holy Paladin, so I'm not really worried. It's the hot classes. The Shaman, great raid healing. Priest, great preemptive raid healing. Holy, just good healing overall, but not spot healing. Tanks at 20%. Uh-oh. What are those other classes going to do? Nothing. I'm going to die. Or I'm going to sit there. I still have to self-heal. Holy Paladin's like, oh, cool. Holy Shock. Boom. There you go. You want some Holy Shock? There it is. And you're full health. Have fun with that. Oh, like depending on if my health is really, let's like, oh, here's a Word of Glory. Boom. Right, so just Holy Shock, Word of Glory. Holy Shock, Word of Glory. Just brings me back up. So I've accidentally picked up one of these anima orbs, and I gotta go run it back in. I don't normally have to do that, but I guess as off tank currently at the moment, because I don't have a boss, I should possibly be doing that. But that's a DPS thing to do. I'm not doing that. That's a DPS peasant thing. Anyway, I'm taking the General Gershal now. And this is an easy fight for tank. Kind of mechanic intensive for DPS and healers, right? So I'm going to go soak the Meteor. Here comes the Stone Fist. I have Guardian of Ancient Kings plus probably a bit of an Absorb. And my health is at 100 the whole time. Run this in pugs. That Stone Fist trucks, especially when you take the second one. With my mitigation plus this raid comp, and also the healers knowing what they're doing, because again, they're 9-10, 10-10, like they know when to do it. Don't let the tank get hit by Stone Fist unmitigated, right? So that one was a tiny bit unmitigated, but at the same time, I have 2 stacks. I had 1 stack of Stone Fist, which doubles the damage. But so that's pretty good that through just normal mitigation, at 2 stacks, it only 50%s me. Completely recoverable. That's a Word of Glory. That's a Holy Shock. We're back in business, right? So that's the second phase now. We have General down. Call has left. We still have to do Wicked Blades, which is a purely DPS mechanic. We do have to face essentially the boss. Actually, it doesn't really matter what we face him. It's just that we're going to keep him on Moon. The raid has to be on the opposite side of the blades. There's a lot of mechanics, but as a tank, it's basically a swap on Stone Fist stacks. And to be honest, this fight, I don't ever tank swap on the first phase with the boss. It's basically just a Stone Fist swap. So even that, I wasn't in Consecration, but I did have Shield the Righteous up, and like the no stack Stone Fist was like 20-30% health, like nothing, like not a big deal at all. So basically, I don't die in this fight unless there's no Holy Paladin, and we have some floppy ass heals like Druids. I've run this with triple Druid. I've run this with like triple Shaman or like 2 Shaman, 1 Priest. They don't got the single target heals fast enough. It's a Holy Paladin fight. It's a Holy Paladin fight, as is Sire, in my opinion. Tanks die if there's no Holy Paladin for Sire. I'm pretty sure... Actually, I'm not pretty sure. I don't follow like the high end, but having done 10-10 out of this raid, you need a Holy Paladin. It's not really optional, in my opinion. They crush on every fight. They crush on Sun Kings. They crush everywhere. So we're still in phase 2. You do always have to priority focus down the Gargon or the Goliath that comes out. I pretty much always mark the Goliath. This is a no voice comms run, which is pretty rare, but you know, we smash it. Everyone's 9-10. That's when you don't need voice comms. If everyone's done the fight successfully, and if they're like reasonably high parse too, which I don't care about parse as a tank, but you know, for like mages, if there's 10 mages and they're all 10-10, it's like, okay, well, who parsed the best, right? Who's like optimizing? But we got to priority kill the mob, and I basically mark it. Ooh, that's a dicey moment. Why don't I lay on hands myself? It's because I don't have any aggro. It's fine. I got 2... Do I have 4 stacks of Fist? That's why. I have 4 stacks of the Fist. The other tank hasn't been taking that dude away from me. I was 4 stacks, and I lived it. Now, this is why your boy needs the Sun King's Cheat Death Trinket, because, like, in that case, I could plan for it. I was like, I'll take 5 stacks, and, like, when I cheat death, you take him back, right? But, like, I could basically simplify the fight for the tanks, because I know I can take 4 stacks and live it. I don't know how much Absorb Shield I had, but... now we're in, like, 3rd phase, if you want to think about it that way, both General and Caller down, so we have both mechanics. So we have Stone Fist dots, which cannot be cleansed, and we have General Call dots, which can be cleansed. I still also have my Kyrian Vial, so I can take, like, honestly, probably 3 to 4 General Call stacks, and live it, and just clear them whenever I need to. So we have both now. This is all the mechanics firing at once. DPS have a bunch of mechanics I'm not explaining, but positionally as a tank, basically, there's a bunch of abilities on the ground that make you move. Your whole idea is to kite it in a circle and bring the boss right back to the marker. If the tanks do not bring the bosses back to the marker, which in this case is Moon, but should be Skull, like who put that marker down? It should be Skull, but I'm not raid lead, so I'm not going to change it. We've brought the bosses right back. If you do not do that in a timely manner, you will kill the raid. So your entire job is to manage the stacks, cleanse them if you want this way, and keep the bosses right where they are. Because if you move, then all the other raid markers are basically nullified and too much damage goes out and you get behind. So we do have 3 DPS, 4 DPS dead. I'm not even managing that. I'm just doing my job. I don't have a battle res. I wouldn't want to be a DH tank or a bear tank because then you have to battle res people while you're tanking. No thank you. I do have the engineering battle res talent, but also again, no thank you. That's not what I'm going to be doing on this fight. However, actually, at 215... Okay, here's Sketch Blades, right? Positioning worked out pretty well as a tank there, but Sketchy Blades, placements and everything like that, because the bosses had to be kited around. But what I was saying is, at a 216, especially if there's a Holy Paladin in the group, item level 216 like I am, I could, on Heroic... Except for maybe Sire, I can spend about like a third of the fight off healing because there's not enough damage for me to care about it, right? Like if there's like Life Bloom and Rejuve, and I'm like a beacon target for the Holy Paladin, right? And I'm getting like cleave healed by whatever the rest of the shaman's putting down. Like my health bar doesn't move, even on like Sludge Fist or this fight. It's like it's not that big a deal. Except for, like, of course, 4 stacks of Stone Fist, which you saw is, like, almost one-shot, but, like, we're kind of memeing it at this point. Anyway, you have to kill both bosses at the same time. You'll see that General's a little higher, so I mark to focus down General Call. Just in case people aren't paying attention, it's like, that's a lot of health left. So they do that correctly, and we do kind of basically kill them at the same time. That's good. It looks like the other one's going to get cleaved down, but luckily, honestly, I think that raid mark is extremely important with the low amount of DPS left, so we get it. Boom, there it is. Heroic Castle Nathria achievement for yours truly. I'm now 1010 Heroic. Item level 216. And let me tell you what's going to be really easy next reset. Pugging into any heroic group. Now, they might be looking for some mythic clears, but that's a pretty high eye level. And if you've cleared all the raids, it's like, I'm probably going to have decent tips for the raid leader. And feels good. I'll see you on the next video. Cheers.